What's up, guys? It is Monday, October 18th. We are now just under 5 weeks out from the first show. Everything's going pretty well. 200 grams of carbs per day now with a refeed of 350 on Thursdays. So that's going to be pretty interesting. I started to feel it pretty good last week when I was at 250 on the carbs. So I'm sure this week will be lots of fun. So we'll see how it goes. So far, strength feels pretty good. So we'll see how tonight's session goes, and just keep pushing along. We ain't got a whole lot further to go. just wanted to do a quick little kind of recap of the week and also go over some issues I had yesterday that I spoke about in my last post. So, starting with how the week went, it was pretty good for the most part. No like major PRs or anything, but a lot of the movements either held or did go up a little bit, whether it be in reps or weight. Body composition changes were very big this week. Only lost a pound though, which is really nice. So I'm not entirely sure what my coach is going to do, calorie wise this next week yet, as I haven't received the update, but I would assume that it's probably not going to be too big. So energy levels were of course really low, and will continue to be that way. But overall, not too bad. I'm getting a hold of the hunger, which is the main thing for me. I can deal with low energy, but excessive hunger is a lot harder to deal with. So anyway, on to yesterday. So yesterday, there was a little bit of drop in strength for me. On a couple of movements, not horrible, but still a bit of a drop. And I wanted to cover this topic because this is something that I've struggled with for quite a while, and many of you will struggle with at some point as well. So the main thing to remember is, especially for athletes that use supplements, whether it be natural or otherwise, your first choice should never be to start increasing stuff. For a number of reasons. Mainly being you really want to keep as many tools in the chest as you can for as long as possible. So you need to go in and kind of assess that day and the days prior and kind of try and figure out what happened. So one of the main things that can play a big role is going to be sleep. Sleep is, probably the most important aspect of what we do. If you're not getting enough sleep, it can affect your cognitive functions, it can affect your motor functions, it can cause, certain muscle fibers to not even activate or not activate as well, which is going to, of course, result in less strength, less power. So that's the main factor that I would look at, how much sleep have you gotten in the last few days. I know for me, it's all over the place, and that's generally my problem. So there's that. There's also going to be what I find to be kind of like a minimum kind of calories that you should have in before your workouts, and that's going to vary for everybody. So for me, my total food for the day is still plenty to get the job done, but on days like yesterday, the timing of everything gets thrown off, and some things get delayed, which means you're not getting in your calories and your fluids, like water and all that, which can both play a big role in it as well. There's going to be that. Another one is going to be prep brain. All right, it came back to me. So the other part could very well be just general fatigue. When you're training, especially training really hard, you're stressing your central nervous system. So after a while, it's kind of had enough, and it needs a break. It doesn't repair itself and respond as quickly as muscle and all that good stuff. One night's good rest is not enough to restore that. I'm usually a little late on coming to that conclusion, if anything. I always worry about not doing enough. And you can be, really bad on either end of the spectrum. There's also people out there that, first sign of any kind of fatigue, they want to take a break, and that's not going to work either. But working yourself into the ground is bad also. So one of the ways that I find to see if that's starting to become part of the problem is my mental state going to the gym. Of course, you're going to have your off days, where your body might be feeling good, but mentally you just don't feel it. But for me, I'm typically very excited. I can't wait to get in there, smash the workout, try and break some records, and just continue on. When I get to the point where the idea of going just sucks, then I know, my central nervous system is more than likely the issue and it's time to back off. So you need to find out for you personally what's going to be the main thing for that. And of course, other signs of being, getting to that kind of overreaching point, is loss of strength and things like that. Typically, I find the loss in strength to be a lot larger than it was yesterday. I only lost a rep on a couple movements. So that's not typically a good sign for me that, performance is down enough to think I need a break. But through trial and error and over time, it's really the only way to figure it out for yourself because everyone is so different. But look for those signs and kind of pay attention to those, and just kind of again just go through especially the day that you had some performance issues and kind of see if you can assess the problem. Another good one would be if you have multiple bad days in a row, unless you're repeating the same mistake all those days in a row, then chances are, again, you may need a break because the body can really only push so hard for so long. So you got to be really, really paying attention to, how you feel and what you do and things like that to really be able to track this sort of thing. Beyond that, if it's just a one-off thing, we all have bad days. That can happen also. The main reason that I was able to figure out what was going on yesterday, for me it was more meal timings and just lack of sleep. I had to work and get up extra early that day, so sleep was, not where it should be. So for me, that's more than likely what that was. But bad days do happen. You can go in there feeling like you're going to go in there and just tear everything apart, and next thing you know, you get in there and it's just not happening, and that does happen from time to time. But usually you'll bounce back the next day and get back to smashing it. So that's about it. Again, I'm not real sure what we're going to do moving forward, but I'll put it in the slide after this video. I should have my check-in by then, and we'll go from there. So that's just a short little video on the topic. It was a little bit longer than I wanted, but it's kind of hard to discuss in a couple of minutes. So if you guys have any questions, please shoot them to me, and I will do everything I can to answer those for you, and just keep smashing it.